Hello, algebra people. Hope you're doing great. Here is day 2 of elimination. So I've stepped my game up for you. I got a warm-up problem for you here. Actually, we've got 2 of them. So why don't you go ahead, pause this video, give each of these problems a try. Again, this is basic elimination. So look at your coefficients, determine if we need to add or subtract to eliminate an x or a y, and then go from there. All right, when you come back on, the answers will magically appear. All right, so go ahead and pause this. Okay, welcome back. Here you go. So here's the answers to both of them. Our first one looks like we had opposite coefficients in our y values, 8 and -8. Opposite means we add. So you can see, we go ahead, we do that. 15x equals -15. X turns into -1. Substitute -1 back into either equation. I chose the first one. We plug that back in. We solve for y. And then you'll notice, eventually down here on this step, we get 8y equals 0. Don't think that that means no solution or anything like that. That just means 8 times some variable or some number is equal to 0. It turns out in this case it's 0. 8 times 0 is 0. The one to the right on red, when we add that, I've got opposites both in my x and in my y. When we go to add those, everything cancels out. No variables remain, so that means we have nothing on the left-hand side, or 0, and that is equal to 8 on the right-hand side, which of course can't be true, so no solution there. All right, elimination day 2. These ones are going to look a little bit different, and here's why. If you read that very first question, it says, what do you do if there are no matching coefficients, right? What am I going to do then? So we're going to have to do something a little bit different, and that is what today will be about. So if we don't have any matching coefficients, guys, here's what we want to do. Okay, so here's what we do as it has magically appeared for you. So we're going to multiply one of my equations, sometimes both of my equations, by some number so that we can have matching coefficients, right? Elimination is really nice if we get matching coefficients in either the x variable or the y variable. Doesn't matter which one. So we're going to kind of force the issue, and we're going to multiply whatever number we want into these equations. So the equations are going to change. They're going to look a little bit different. All right, but once we do that, we will then create matching equations, and then we can solve these elimination or these systems just like we did yesterday. So here's how this works. All right, I look at my first problem right here, and I notice that I have really no matching coefficients. If we look in our x row, I've got 1 and 2. Nothing matches there. If I look at my y's, I've got 3 and -7. Again, nothing matches there. So I'm thinking to myself, I wonder if there is a number that I could multiply this top equation by so that I could get a matching 2, right? So that I could get a matching 2 for my coefficient on x. And the answer, of course, is, well, yes. Some number times x has to give me 2x. In this case, it happens to be the number 2. So I want to multiply or distribute a 2 into all 3 of these terms. All right, I'm going to make a new equation, and it's going to look just like this. So 2x, this will turn into plus 6y, and this will happen to equal 12. Okay, now I have matching coefficients. Now I can eliminate just like I did yesterday. So same sign on my x's, same sign means subtract. So we're going to subtract these equations. 2x minus 2x, 0x. All right, -7 minus 6. Be careful here, this is -13. Y. -1 minus 12, also -13. All right, we can quickly solve this. For y, there we go. Y is 1. Pick whatever equation you want. Let's substitute 1. All right, back into, I'm just going to pick the first equation, x plus 3y equals 6. Everywhere I see a y, right here, I now use the number 1 in its place. Everything else stays the same. So this turns into x plus 3 equals 6. Go ahead and subtract. There we go. Voila. So I get 3, 1 for my answer on that one. Hardest part, figuring out what number to multiply your equation by. Always a good idea, kind of like substitution, when we pick on the variable that has a coefficient of 1. All right, let's do that again. So if I look for my x's, so I'm looking right here, I've got 9x and 2x, so nothing really lines up pretty good there. So let's go ahead and look over at y's, 3 and 1. Yeah, I think there's a number that I could multiply the second equation by so that I get matching y coefficients. I think it would be 3. So let's make our new equation. Distribute 3 into all of your terms. All right, biggest 8th grade mistake is to not distribute into this 5 right here, and you leave that as 5, and that does not yield the correct answer. Okay, so kind of forget about this equation for now. Focus, right? Focus up here, focus over here. 3y and 3y, same coefficient, subtract. 9x minus 6x, just 3x. My y's cancel out, 12 minus 15, negative 3. Okay, easy to solve this one. Negative 1, all right, is my x value. I can use whichever equation I would like to. I'll just go back to 2x plus y equals 5. Everywhere I see an x, I now plug a negative 1. So 2 times negative 1 plus y equals 5. Here we go, negative 2 plus y equals 5, and there we are. We can get y is equal to 7. Again, if I write this as an ordered pair, negative 1, comma 7. If we were to graph these, that means these two lines, if I were to graph them, intersect at the ordered pair, negative 1, 7. Okay. If you're feeling good and you want to try some of these on your own, go right ahead. In the meantime, I'm going to keep on going through some of these. The more, the merrier. Right. Number 3. Again, I think we should multiply the top equation by some number. I'm not going to multiply to cancel out my x's. I want to eliminate or cancel out my y's. So what number could I multiply by? And there's really more than one answer here. It's that number and its opposite. Because remember, just as we've had the same signs, I can also have opposite signs. And for those of us who like addition better, maybe that's a little bit easier to do. So again, I think 4 is our right number there. So let's go ahead and distribute everything. Here's my new equation, 12x. This turns into minus 4y. And 14 times 4, I believe, is 56. In our y values, we have opposite coefficients, 4 and negative 4. Opposite means we add. 5x plus 12x, 17x. All right, y values cancel out, so those go away. And over here we get 68. All right, that sounds great. Divide by 17, pretty sure that turns into 4. Okay, so x is done. Let's go back. All right, I'll just choose the first one, 3x minus y equals 14. Plug 4 in for x, so 3 times 4. Subtract y equals 14. All right, 12. Again, we're going to have to subtract 12 over here. And that's going to turn into 2. But be careful. My equation right now solved for negative y, not done. Got to solve it for positive y. There we go. So 4, negative 2 is my answer here on 3. Okay? Great. We're doing fantastic. Number 4, here we go. So a little bit of choice on number 4. I get to really decide if I want to cancel out my x's or my y's. And that really depends on, I don't know, just whatever you want to do. It's not going to make a difference. I'm still going to get the same answer. I do know we're going to have to multiply the top equation by a number. Just to be different, I will choose to multiply the top equation by -5. Okay. Other numbers that you could choose to multiply by that would work out just fine would be +5. You could also do 2 or -2. Okay. So any of those 4 numbers, I chose this one just because we haven't done a negative number before. But, you know, it seems like we should be able to multiply by a negative. I think that should work out just fine. Again, just be mindful of all of your signs. Okay. Here's where we got to figure out, okay, in my x is 5 and -5, so opposing signs, opposite signs mean we add. 5x plus -5x cancels out. -2y plus -5y is -7y. -50 plus 15 is -35. You know, I think for a lot of us, it's easier if we find coefficients that are opposites like we have here, because I would argue all of us are probably better at addition than we are at subtraction. And if that's the case for you, then just make opposite coefficients when we do elimination. There's nothing that says you have to multiply by a number so that you always get the same, terms, 5x and 5x, or -2y and -2y. Here we have x plus y, or x plus 5, is now equal to -3. Pretty challenging to solve, but I believe that turns into -8. So here you go. Here's your ordered pair. Number 4, -8, 5. Feel free at any point, stop, do some of these on your own, okay? But I'll keep going along here as I do. Eventually, I'll make you do some of these on your own. But we're just going to get comfortable here. Okay, so I think bottom equation needs to get multiplied by a number. You know, I do like addition better than subtraction. So I could multiply the bottom equation by 3, and I'd end up with -3y here, but that gives me same sign, and my y's means subtract. So I'm gonna be different, and I'm gonna multiply by -3. Because I'd like to have opposite signs so that I can add, because I'm a better adder than I am subtractor. Boom, 3y. Just watch your signs. As long as you do that, we're good. Okay, so kind of forget about this equation here, right? I'm focusing again on these. If you need to write these down, somewhere else, do that. I've done these enough where I'm okay looking at those, but if it helps you to do that, do that. 3x plus -6x, -3x. Here my y's cancel out, -3y plus 3. And -3 plus 15, just 12. Right, just the number 12. X happens to be -4. And there's one of our answers, so now I can substitute back into either equation. Okay, let's just choose the first one. 3x minus 3y equals -3. Be careful here. This is 3x, or -4. I'm subtracting 3y, and this is all equal to -3. So I get -12 here. We're going to move that to the right-hand side by adding 12. Adding 12 to -3 should turn this into 9. Dividing -3. Okay. So -4, -3. Super. Okay. So here's everything we've got. Again, just to recap, you just have to multiply any number you choose into one or both. Now, here we've only done one. I hope I've given us some equations here where I can do both. Well, Here we go. Okay, let's look at number 8. I'll give you the answers to 6 and 7 here later on, but let's look at number 8 because there's no really good numbers that I can multiply through one of my equations, right? Like if we look at our top equation here, there's really not a good number that I can multiply to get matching or opposite coefficients in our x values, right? 3 and 5. I mean, yeah, there's a fraction that I could multiply 3 by to get 5, but So what do we do here? Well, here's what we do. We have to multiply both equations by a number. So I will just pick the x values, and I'll say, you know what, I'm going to multiply the top equation by 5, because that was my x value here. I'm going to multiply the bottom equation by 3, because that was my x value here. And this should give me the same coefficients in my x's now. Again, I'm multiplying 5 into all 3 terms. So 15x, it's a terrible x, plus 15y equals 45. Okay, first part's done. Multiply 3 into everything. Here we go, 15x. I'm smiling, even though you can't see it, because I've got the same coefficient in my x values. All right, there we go. From here, same sign means we subtract. 15x minus 15x goes away. 15y minus 12y, 3y. 45 minus 30, 15. Solving for y, I get 5. Okay, awesome. Now we just need to use 5 with one of our equations. Go back to your original equations, right? Don't use these because these are larger numbers. It will work out just fine, but they're larger numbers, and I guess we're more likely to make a mistake with larger numbers than we are with smaller numbers. I know everywhere I see a y, I can replace that or substitute that with a 5. 3x plus 15 equals 9. We'll subtract 15 from both sides, and that turns into negative 6, and now x happens to be negative 2. There you go. So my ordered pair, negative 2, 5. Okay, maybe you want to see another one of those. Look no further than 9. Okay. Again, I can choose x or y. I'm a creature of habit, so I'm just going to say, hey, let's just eliminate our x's. So I'm going to take this 2, that's my coefficient, multiply this equation by 2. I'm going to take this coefficient here, negative 5, multiply up here by negative 5. Actually, I'm going to give you guys a change up. I'm going to multiply that by just 5. Right? Again, this still works. I'm looking for the same coefficients, right, or opposite coefficients. So this should give me 10 and negative 10, I'm thinking. All right. So I'll do the first equation first, so 2x times 5. So this turns into 10x minus 20y equals 90. Okay. Negative 10x minus 12y equals 6. Again, you've got to think about coefficients, 10, negative 10, those are opposites. Opposite coefficients mean we add. 10x plus negative 10x, there you go, there's your elimination, turns into 0. Negative 20 plus negative 12, negative 32. 90 plus 6 is 96, okay? And then we can take this, divide by negative 32. I believe that should turn into a negative 3. Go back to your original equations because they're smaller numbers. 2x minus 4y equals 18. I know everywhere I see a y, I plug in a -3. Be careful. This is really -4 times -3. That's why I get a positive 12. Subtract 12 over here. Get 6. X turns into 3. Okay, this is where you guys get to take over. Like magic, when you come back, I will have all of our answers on here. All right, work through everything. Again, you're just eliminating one variable. Let's see. So give 6, 7, 10, 11, 12. Give those all a chance. 6 and 7, I just can multiply one equation. 10, 11, 12. Going to have to multiply both equations. For homework, I'd like you to do all of them, 1 through 10, okay? Because that'll get us super good at elimination, and that's what we need to be. So homework is going to be homework number 4, all of them 1 through 10. Pause your video, work on 6, 7, 10, 11, 12. When you unpause this, all the answers will appear. Okay, go for it. Welcome back, algebra people of the universe. Here are your 5 answers. 2 of them, I was going to tell you, 2 of them were weird, crazy, interesting ones, but I forgot to. So 6 and 11, those are your weird, crazy ones. Again, you have to make sense of what you get. You know, if you get that, hey, 0 equals -6 or whatever it is, you got to say, hey, that's no solution. You know, if you end up getting 0 is equal to 0 or 4 equals 4 or whatever that is, you've got to say, hey, that's infinite solutions. So 6 is infinite. 11 was no solutions. You see the answers there on 7 and 10 and 12. So I hope you guys enjoyed today. If you need more practice on these, shoot me an email. Go to the website, all sorts of ways to get great at systems. But thanks for being such an attentive audience today. You were fantastic. Have a great day, everybody.